Hi, Laura. I guess this is kind of what you guys came here to do in terms of getting to the knockouts, but it's a really big game and an opposition that we all know the quality of. How are you guys feeling ahead of the clash?
Yeah, obviously a massive game for us. Obviously brings back a little bit of deja vu just a year ago, having to face him in the final. I think a lot has happened since then, though. Obviously, we had the 2 wins against him earlier this year, so I think that just gives a bit of a positive energy in the camp, knowing that if we play our best cricket, they are beatable. So yeah, big evening for everyone. Tonight's just about doing what we can to get in the best space to be ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, and they say they're a different team to the one that won the World Cup however many number of times. I'm sure you guys are a different team too. What would you say is different from last year's finalists to this year's team?
Probably a year of experience. I guess we line up a little differently. Obviously, Shubnam in the 11 and Dirksen has sort of come in her spot. We've also had a bit of change in staff. Got a batting coach, a fielding coach. Hilton's no longer with us, so a couple of fresh faces, fresh ideas. It's been a bit of an up and down year for us. I think we've played some really good cricket in beating Australia and had a few disappointing series as well. But yeah, I feel like we've really hit our stride in this World Cup, and I'm really looking forward to tomorrow.
And last one from me. I mean, since you reached that final, you watched the men reach a final, you watched the Springboks win a World Cup and many other amazing achievements from South African sports people. What does it feel like now? The nation's looking at you. There are not many people out here, but you guys know what it means to people who are desperate for hope, really.
Yeah, very special. I think we don't even realize how many people at home are sort of following us and watching us. My mom keeps texting me that she's been to the dentist today and the dentist is asking about our game tomorrow and that he's super excited. So yeah, I think all of those games that you mentioned as well, I remember watching most of them with, family and friends, and it's amazing how games like that can sort of bring people together. So yeah, I think it's an amazing opportunity we have tomorrow to have all those eyes on us and hopefully it can do them proud.
Kalani, yeah.
Hello, Laura. All the best for tomorrow's match.
Thanks.
Previous time, it was a home World Cup for you, and opposition and all the emotions came in. Your role at that time was completely different than what it is now. Can you compare the nerves or the emotions in general about what it was to play Australia in that time and now you're eve of facing them again in the semi-final?
Pretty nervous for both occasions. Obviously, this time around, I have a bit more homework to do before the game. That time, I just had to attend the batting meeting and focus on what I needed to do. But yeah, obviously have bowling plans and that sort of thing this time around. But it's nice that we faced them early in the year, so it's not a totally foreign sort of event for us. And yeah, just really excited for it. There will be nerves around the group, but hopefully we can translate that into some good excitement.
And a specific question about Tasman Bridge. You've opened with her and you've seen her grow in that role as an opener, and what it is like to share batting with her. She's the top run scorer of the tournament right now. So what it has been like to open the batting with her, and what are the conversations like with her?
Yeah, it's really nice to bat with her. I think we complement each other pretty well. I feel like there's days where I maybe struggle with the bat, and those happen to be the days where she gets off to a really good start, and vice versa. I feel like it always works that way around. I feel like we run well between the wickets as well. She's pretty quick, and when you've batted with someone for that long, you can almost sort of sense when there's a single and when there isn't. So we sort of have that understanding, which is quite nice. And yeah, it's been good. Hopefully we can have a good game tomorrow.
Kelani, Lavanya.
Hi, Laura.
Hi.
All the best for the game tomorrow.
Thanks.
Can you just take me through what the experience of maybe watching Australia's, say, a couple of games prior has been like for you guys? Because we've seen India run them close. We've seen them, it's not been too much of a perfect tournament for them as well. They've also had like a learning curve over here. So can you just take us through maybe what aspects you're looking to exploit perhaps in this opponent?
Yeah, I guess it's, you're always watching cricket and trying to analyse where you can. But yeah, there's been a few games where they've lost quite a few wickets. I think they've gone to 8 or 9 down quite a few times. But yeah, their depth is just incredible with, Sutherland batting 8 or 9. So I think tomorrow it'll just be about controlling that run rate as much as we can, because it seems like every batter who comes in can sort of take the game on. So we'll just have to be smart with our options and our matchups and try and control that run rate as best we can.
Right, and I have to ask you about last night when you guys found out that you had qualified. Just what was that like? I'm sure even Lita can weigh in here because he was trying to convince you guys that y'all had actually qualified. Can you just take us through what that, maybe those 10-15 minutes of understanding the net run rate was like for you?
Yeah, it was a bit weird. No one really knew what the numbers were or what exactly we had to do. Because Lita showed us a stat that we were like pretty much in, but then there was another article that said, you know, we could be out of West Indies win. So we just weren't too sure what was happening. And it was a bit weird being at training, not knowing, you know, what we were training for. But yeah, halfway through training, we sort of found that out. And when ICC posted it, I kind of believed that one. I thought that has to be real.
And just last one from me. Part of your responsibility over the last year has also been to motivate the rest of your team, right? Now, earlier we used to think you're this really quiet person who just wants to come and, you know, get the job done and go.
Yeah.
But now you have this additional thing of maybe preparing speeches for your team and figuring out how to pump them up before big matches like this. Do you have notes made for what you're going to say tomorrow?
Not yet. I found that one of the hardest parts of the job is finding something new to say every single game, because a lot of it, you know, doesn't really change, especially in a series where we play the same opposition 6 times. To come up with a new speech pre-game is tricky. But yeah, we've had Paul Adams as sort of our chief motivator, as we call him, in the group, and every game he's come up with something really creative and really new. So yeah, hopefully I can take some advice from whatever he says tomorrow.
Go well.
Thanks.
You've played 3 of your games at Dubai and have got a good taste of the conditions now. Do you think that might be a little bit of an advantage over Australia, who've only played there once?
I hope so. The couple of times that we played there was actually a pretty nice wicket. Not as slow as with Sarja was the one game that we were there. So yeah, I think our team has had a good time there as well. So hopefully we can have a good power play and they bowl well tomorrow.
I think Marizanne Cap's obviously had a very good tournament, so is Megan Shoot in terms of economy rate. How important is it going to be for you and Tasman to navigate Megan Shoot in the power play?
Yeah, I think both those players are sort of crucial for their respective teams to start off the innings. Cuppy's been exceptional throughout the tournament. I saw a stat that she's bowled like more than 40 dots out of the 60 balls or whatever she's bowled in the power play. But I think the same goes for Shooter. She's had a great tournament so far and her economy is crazy low. So I think that'll be a big challenge for Taz and I tomorrow, is to try to get us off to a good start against her.